You want to know what bugs me? Heat. Heat treatments for bed bugs annoy me, and I'm going to tell you why. But first, we're going to have to talk about how things work in this industry. What happens is a new fangle-dangle widget comes out for pest control to kill bugs or whatever. We in the industry, we look into it, we learn about it, we try it out, see what it's all about, and we find out whether it's worth it or not. But what happens is our excitement for the new whatchamacallit that comes out filters down into the consumer market on a delay. So by the time that we find out that something is great or not so great or dangerous even, then the consumer level, the consumer market is still thinking it's hot snot. That's what happened with diatomaceous earth. And this is what has happened with heat. Years and years ago, everybody was like, oh my gosh, we're having so much trouble with bed bugs. You bring in these heaters, you heat them out, and no chemicals, everybody's safe, it's green. And it's the silver bullet. We'll never have trouble with bed bugs again. I actually took some classes, and the person giving them said this could eradicate bed bugs forever, and the industry will change dramatically. Hasn't happened. Bed bugs continue to get worse, and heat is not the silver bullet that you were told. Now, you get on Facebook, little Johnny and Miss Susie, they're all going to go, oh, you have to have heat. That's the only way you can have heat. You got to have heat or you can't get rid of the bed bugs. That's what my guy told me. That's what my pest control guy told me. Your pest control guy is an idiot. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Now, heat is a tool in the toolbox. It is a good tool. But no one that is even worth their salt for anything uses heat only. They still apply pesticides. Why? Because when the heat cools off, there's nothing killing bugs. So let me tell you how heat works. This isn't, you don't just walk into a house, you set up this heater, flip it on, and leave. And then suddenly everything's dead. Depending on what you read, the temperature has to be between 120 and 140 at the bug. So the bug itself has to be 120 to 140 for 12 to 24 hours, depending on what you read, where you find your information. You don't just go in there and set up a heater and leave it and turn it on. This is convection heat. So it's heat and fans, and you got to know how to put the fans up to get the air rolling everywhere it needs to be. And depending on how your house is set up, that could be very difficult. If you just got one big room, pretty easy. Or if you've got an open floor plan type of thing, pretty easy, whatever. But consider this. If it's 200 degrees, which is well over what it takes to kill the bed bug, everybody agrees on that, ambient, 200 degrees ambient temperature here, what is the temperature inside the pillow, under the bed, between the box springs and mattress, inside the couch, inside the walls? It's not 200 degrees, right? So if you're sitting in there and suddenly it starts to get a little hot, you get uncomfortable, you go, I'm gonna move over here. It's cooler over here. I'm gonna go sit over here. Well, that's what the bed bug does. He goes to cooler places. And guess what? Those cooler places are almost always places that you can't get to. Inside the cushions, inside the couch, inside the walls. So the heat will kill them, but you could push them into those walls, especially if you don't heat it up fast enough. So here's the other thing. There's certain structures, there's no point in even trying heat. Most trailers don't even bother. They're not sealed enough. They're not insulated enough. You can't even get them hot enough. What about a log cabin or a very old house or a house that's stone, you're going to have a hard time getting these structures up to heat. On top of that, if you're not careful, you can at least melt a candle, melt some soap. But I've seen TVs ruined. I've seen linoleum curled up, finishes on furniture ruined. And what about your sprinkler system? What if that goes off? Then you got a 1,000-degree house and now it's flooded. Awesome. So it's not the silver bullet that everybody said it was. There's no residual with heat. When you have heat and you turn it off, there's nothing there killing the bugs. That's why even the companies that use heat still do chemical treatments. Okay? So what's the point? About the only place that I would recommend using heat is the guys who do my canine work, that do my canine inspections, where the dogs come and sniff out for the bed bugs. They have a chamber just big enough to put a suitcase or a backpack in or something to heat it up, because they work with a camp for kids. And of course, they have people coming and going all the time. That's probably the best use for heat. That's a good use for heat. The bad thing is I have actually seen hotel owners take the big propane torpedo tubes and set those up in a 1-bedroom hotel room and try to heat it up. So when they burn that thing down and kill 30 or 40 people, it's going to make the news. It's not going to be good. It will happen. You just wait. You just wait. It'll damage TVs, damage stereos, electronic equipment, damage vinyl records, the wallpapers, the pictures, the appliances. Look, it's a good tool. For me and my company, I'm not even going to bother, because I got to kick you out for 24 hours, 12 hours-ish, somewhere around in there. And I'm just not doing it. So you want to know what bugs me? Bed bug heat. But I love killing the bugs that you tried to kill with heat.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Like, share, and subscribe so Mama will let me back in the house.
I think I saw a rat in my house. Mice, I thought she had rats.
No, rats are outside. Mice are inside.
Yo, but what if a mouse goes outside? Does it become a rat? And if a rat is in the house, is it a mouse?
I ain't never seen no mouse outside. You know what I'm saying?
That's because it's a rat, fool.
Damn.
Oh, I think I found a rat.
Take it, you dirty yellow-bellied rat, I'll give it to you through the door.
Keep that shade, you filthy animal.
This is the rapper.